there's a scripture verse that goes something like, whatsoever things are pleasant, whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are beautiful, whatsoever things are lovely, think on these things. And I think, well, I don't know how to use technology at all, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd try to make some beautiful music videos or stories, and then if I had people that were willing to take command from me, I would command them to skit things out for me, and then I'd film it, and then I'd freeze it and sell it on eBay, and then upload it to YouTube. But basically, I was hungry for something beautiful today. The kind of beautiful that can be found in old French films, where the guy always has a white shirt on that's like, it looks clean, but you can tell that it's dirty because he's probably been wearing it for a couple of days, but he still managed somehow to keep it clean. And he always has a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. And the girls are always lovely, and they say very poetic things. And maybe I'm just envious. I don't know. I just think there's something I don't think so, but I think there's something very beautiful and genuine about old French films, like Godard films. I think it's Jean-Luc Godard. So creative, and just makes this like world with this sense of reality, and expresses the way that some individuals approach reality that just seems so much better than the way that everybody else in the world does it. Like, I guess I'm pretty sold on Catholicism, but within Catholicism we can expand to every different lifestyle, so long as it does not involve sin. And I shouldn't say just Catholicism, but Christianity. It should be like the basis for beauty. St. Peter, the rock, the church. Let us build beauty up within the church. Really, I don't think there's anything really, well, there are plenty of worthwhile things to do with our time, but building up the beauty that can be found in the world somehow with our actions is really one of the most worthwhile activities that we can engage in. For example, if I live through my day and I have created one piece of artwork, then I've done something to advance I guess, God's glory. And maybe even if I hadn't done that, I would have advanced that in some way otherwise, but we have something tangible that can reach out to human beings on that physical level that I think that most of us are stuck in. And I shouldn't say stuck, but more or less we're stuck in our bodies. And maybe some people would like to debate me on that, and I probably wouldn't argue. No, I wouldn't. Anyway, we should create beauty all the time. Really, why don't we just live these fantastically creative, expressive existences, like, that border upon the insane? Like, I'm sure Lewis Carroll was a hit to hang out with. Like, I'm sure he was a lovely individual. Or, like, we always hear, well, I hear people ripping on computer nerds, or like people who sit in a coffee shop and, like, just like, I'm on a computer right now, just sit and type on their computer with their headphones on or something like that. They're on their own little world. I was watching this show on EWTN, and this lady was like, "You're not Ernest Hemingway," or something like that. And I kind of thought that was a little bit cold, because maybe those people really don't know how to cope with anything, and that's really their best way to feel alive or something. I don't know. God bless us all. And maybe I just think that's an okay thing to do because I do that. I go and I retreat into my mind, the caverns in my head. Gotta get a Batmobile. No, a Bat Flash. What would you call that? Bat lamp. Except I want a pony lamp. And I want a bubble gun. Goodness gracious. There's a Christmas tree in my room. See, I could let myself just do whatever I wanted to do, but I have to be realistic. And I should just really focus on exercising virtue, because that's probably the most worthwhile activity. But at the same time, we have these imaginations, and I don't know that God really would have given them to us if he did not intend for us to be creative and use them, and create beautiful things through them and with them. It's like my set of paints, and I get to paint my atmosphere all the time, even if I'm not producing an artifact. I am living an authentic life that someday everybody will see, and someday everybody will see you right now, because God's glory will be revealed at the second coming of Christ. And everything will be laid bare, and everything will come into the light, and I'm pretty sure that means that we're all going to have an understanding of everything that has ever happened in the world. Could be wrong, but that's just what I've been told, or for some reason believe, and I believe that belief is trustworthy. But I could always stand to be corrected, and I welcome your corrections. But at this point, I have no subscribers, and I won't cry about this, because maybe someday I'll be 92 years old, and at that point, maybe 50 people will have watched my videos, and then they'll be like, wow, this chick was really weird. No, I don't know. I shouldn't say things like that, but it's probably accurate. I'm sorry, I talk about myself so much. It's just that it's the only thing that I know, besides, okay, I shouldn't say it's the only thing I know. It's just that I'm always with myself. Does anybody else have that problem? I'm always with myself. There's nothing I can do to get away from myself except ask my Jesus to take me out of myself into heaven for 5 minutes to an hour, or for a month, or for 3 months, and let me not remember it, but let the fruits of such an experience remain in my soul. I think that God honors such prayers. God honors prayers. Does not always answer them to our liking, but answers our prayers. Booty, 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 booty. Well, I suppose I don't want to bore your pants off. Maybe I could just press the stop button. Good night, dear soldiers. Amen.